Hi everyone. This is a short practice, and the aim of the practice is to release tension throughout the spine. For today's practice, we need, if your lower back is stand up, I suggest you have a blanket or a towel, and you place it where you're going to sit. Then we need either a yoga block or anything similar to a yoga block. So I have here a shoebox, but you can even have Tupperware or a thick book. And if you want to have any support on your neck, please do use a pillow. So we are going to start with some relaxation, and then 4 or 5 asanas will follow. And this, as I said, is a very gentle practice, so it's suitable for beginners. So let's lay down on the back. If you want, the blanket is totally optional, depends on how your lower back's feeling today. So place it under the sacrum, like so, and then adjust the pillow so that the shoulders are free. So there is space from between the neck and the shoulders. And now move the feet so that they touch the edges of the mat. And place your awareness on the feet. Notice if the weight of the body is more towards the ball of the foot, then move the feet towards your buttocks. If the weight of the body is more towards the heels, move the feet forward. We want the weight of the body equally distributed throughout the whole length of the foot. Then when you achieve that feeling of evenness, then bring your knees together like a tripod, forming a tripod. This is called constructive rest, and it's a very soothing pose for the spine because all the natural curves of the body are respected. Now place your attention on your shoulders. Move the shoulders away from the ears and maybe lift them for a second and really slide the shoulder blades towards your waist, opening the collarbones. Bring the chin towards your chest a tiny bit without exaggerating the movement. And now place your hands on top of the belly and start tuning in to your own breath. Make the breath long and deep. And listen to the sound of your own breath. Listen to the movement of the body as the breath travels through it. Notice how the belly rises and the ribcage expands with each inhale. And notice how the belly lowers and the ribcage gently shrinks with each exhale. Stay with the breath. Connect with your own breath. In yoga, we call the breath the life force. And by connecting and tuning in to our own breath, we have the power to connect with a very intimate source of life. We have the capacity to influence our own emotions, thoughts, just by controlling the breath. When we slow down the breath, we slow down the mind, we slow down the thoughts, and by slowing down the thoughts, we become more aware of our emotions. And by becoming aware of them, then we might be able to manage them. Keep on breathing very slowly and smoothly. Keep on feeling the belly rising and gently falling down. The ribcage expanding and relaxing. Keep on connecting to these two forces that the breath brings in. The inhale brings vitality, growth, and expansion. And the exhale brings letting go, relaxation, calmness. And we say that an healthy breath is a breath where these two forces are balanced. And an healthy life is a life where these two forces are also balanced. Few more breaths before we start to move. And you can keep your eyes closed for the next movements. On your next inhale, bring the feet parallel and as wide as your inner hips. Then place your hands on top of your hip bones here. We are going to do a few pelvic tilts, and pelvic tilts are very therapeutic for massaging and loosening tension in the lower back, but they are also great for strengthening the lower abdominals. Move very slowly and mindfully and try to use the lower abs rather than your legs and your feet. So let's start moving with the breath. Inhale, the pelvis moves forward, the lower back arches more than natural. And then as we exhale, the pelvis moves backward and the lower back flattens towards the floor. You can think of your pelvis like a ball or a wheel that spills forward and back. And now the wheel moves forward and the lower back arches. And then the wheel goes backwards and the lower back flattens towards the floor. Use your abs rather than your legs and feet. And again, inhale, pelvis move forward, lower back arches. And this may be a very subtle and small movements for some of us. And then exhale, pelvis gently rock backwards as the lower back flattens towards the floor. Inhale, forward. Move slowly and gently. Exhale, pelvis moves backward, lower back flattens towards the floor, and you probably feel here the whole, the lower abs. 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Lower back on the floor. Inhale, forward, lower back arches, and don't be surprised if you feel a gentle traction throughout the whole spine, from the crown, from the base of the skull to the base of the tailbone. That's normal. And then exhale, lower back flattens towards the floor. Now stay here and really focus on keeping your lower back on the floor. So now the whole spine touches or is in contact with the floor. This is the time when we need to grab the block or the shoebox or Tupperware, whatever you have available. Now, when you're choosing what to use, make sure that it's at least as wide as the yoga block. We don't want anything too narrow, because otherwise we'll shorten the collarbones. So we want something that is at least as wide as the width of your shoulder. So we're going to hold the block like so. So the hands are going to press on the side of the block. And we are going to have the triceps in. So there is a rotation happening at the arm socket. So we're going to start with a block on our thighs. And then as we inhale, we lift the block up above the head. And then we are going to travel behind the head, keeping the elbows straight. And it does not matter if the block does not touch the floor. Here we reach backwards, and then we take a deep inhale here, and then as we exhale, we travel towards the front. Keep on squeezing the block between your hands, elbows are straight, and then it lands on your thighs. We're going to repeat this 3 or 4 times. If now the pillow comes on your way, so if you don't need it anymore, you can even take it off. Yeah, I prefer to do this without the pillow, but that's personal preference. You can keep on having the pillow. If you take the pillow out, just bring the chin towards the chest. So inhale, squeeze the block, start traveling up. And now, like here, more or less at the head height, to place attention on your ribs here. Really flatten the ribs towards the spine. So really engaging the whole abdominal wall. And then keep on traveling backwards. And when you reach the point where you say, uh-oh, I can't go any further, then start elongating. And now press the feet on the mat as your finger reach towards the back of the mat. Inhale here, and then gently start exhaling and moving back towards the front. Inhale, travel up slowly, very slowly. Be mindful of your rib cage. Make sure your abs are working and containing the front of the body. And again, when you reach here, start elongating, lengthening through the fingertips. Then press the feet on the floor, chin towards the chest, and feel the space between the vertebrae become a little bit long. Take a deep inhale and then exhale. Travel backwards towards the front of the mat. Last one. Squeeze the block, elbows straight. Inhale, traveling up, keeping the ribs in, the whole spine on the floor. If you feel like shaking, that's totally normal. When you reach past overhead, behind the head, think about lengthening and growing a little bit longer, making space between the vertebrae, making those space a little bit bigger. Inhale here, and then exhale, gently travel towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. Place the block to your left side. Inhale, come to the tippy toes, and then bring both knees at the same time towards your chest and place one hand on each shin. First of all, hold the knees tight towards your heart, Apanasana, wing releasing pose. And then place the hands on the knees. Inhale here, exhale. Bring the knees over the hips. So we're gonna do this again. Inhale, squeeze the knees towards you. Exhale. Bring the knees over the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And now place one hand on each knee and make a very small circle. Probably finding the shape of your tailbone. The coccyx is a triangular bone, and it's the end of our spine. It's the last part of the spine. And then change direction of the circles. And this asana is very good for massaging the lower back, releasing tension. Customize the size of the circles according to what your body is telling you. Then separate the knees wider than your hips, one hand on each knee, and then we make big circles. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale in. And now change the direction of the circles without changing the breathing pattern. Inhale out, exhale in. 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 Beautiful. Now, stretch both legs towards the ceiling. The ideal alignment is ankles over the knees, knees over the hips, but not always it's available. So wherever you are, at least try to have the knees over the hips. Yeah? And now let's make ankles rotation. And this is just helpful to activate the blood circulation in the legs. Now bring the right knee towards your right shoulder as the left leg Gently and gradually lowers towards the floor. Left toes pointing up towards the ceiling, and left heels digging hole on the floor. Let's check that's happening really. So inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulder, and look that your left leg is in line with your leg. The toes are pointing up, and the heel is pressing on the floor. Exhale down. Hold the right knee with your left hand. Right hand stretches across like an airplane wing. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist towards the left. And if you want, you can look at your right shoulder. Right shoulder on the floor. And does not matter if your right foot does not touch the floor. What really is important here is to keep both shoulders anchored on the mat. If you find that your right shoulder is lifting off the mat, probably you've gone too far with the twist. And now really reconnect with the breath and think about lengthening and opening the space in your lower mid-back. Letting the breath travel freely. Inhale, come back to center. Place both feet on the floor. Lift the hips and lower them down to realign the body. Bring the left knee towards the left shoulder. Stretch the right leg up and start lowering that leg down gradually towards the floor. Stay here for a couple of breaths, letting the front of the right leg, the hip flexor, opening. Flex the right toes, right heel, digging a hole on the floor, anchoring down. Inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulder, and check that your right foot is in line with the leg. The toes are pointing up and the heel is anchoring down. Exhale, bring the head down, the shoulders down. Hold the left knee with your right hand. Stretch the left arm across. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist towards the right. And if you want, look at your left hand. Both shoulders on the floor. And again, if the left shoulder wants to lift or is lifting, or you've gone too far with the twist. Let the breath reach the tight spots, the tight areas of the body. Inhale, come back to center and place both feet on the floor. Inhale, lift the hips and lower them down. Beautiful. Now get ready for another relaxation, Shavasana. So get in any comfortable position. You can keep your knees bent if you have any discomfort in the lower back or legs extended, whatever works best for you today. Relax the shoulders, open the heart, and then place the hands and arms more or less 45 degrees away from the body, palms facing out. Close the eyes, relax the jaw, relax the space between the eyebrows. Make the body really heavy. The bones are heavy, the muscles are heavy. Surrender to the floor and feel fully supported by the floor. Shavasana. Start rolling the neck from side to side, wiggling the toes, the fingers, bringing some gentle movements to your body. And then bend your knees, roll to your right side and curl up into a fetal position, making yourself like a small baby. And then press the floor away with your left hand and come up to sitting like a rag doll. Your head is the last thing that comes up. You can keep your eyes closed or open. And when you arrive to sitting, inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Show the palms at the top. Bring the hands to the heart and the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift the head. Namaste. Hope you like the practice.